After a bottom of a finish last week at Michigan International Speedway, which saw a last lap pass between teammates of Aaron Abel and Ronald Kennington, we head up north to Wisconsin for the second road course race on the season, and it is a crucial one. 4 races to go in the regular season, and this could determine slightly who makes it into the season 6 chase. It is the Culver's 250 at Road America. What's up, everyone? It's your boy NR2003, and welcome to the 4.048 mile road course of Road America, the longest road course on the season. And this is going to be a fun one. 16 laps on tap, 2 pit stops, and only 4 races to go. After today, it will be Nashville, New Hampshire, and Pocono. So, only 4 races to go, and it is tight for the regular season championship and around the cutoff line. And we got Wassup Everyone up here in the booth for this one. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Thank you for having me up, Nathan. Hello, everybody. Welcome to what is promised to be a very crucial points race here at Road America. A lot going on at the top of the points chart, a lot happening in the middle of the chase points chart, as well as there on the P10 cutoff there in the chase. A lot at stake here today, Nathan, with such few races to go, as you mentioned momentarily ago. 4 races to go left before the chase begins. A lot can happen today, Nathan. A lot of importance can happen today.
Absolutely. This racetrack is a road course. It's harder to pass, but it's not going to be too hard, because I think it's going to be some decent passing, and of course the strategy and pit craft be spot on here today. There's not a lot of tire, but there's 2 rounds of pit stops on fuel and tires. But we could see some 2 tires, we could see some 4 tires. That could be a big time gamble, and it's going to be interesting how everything plays out. 4 races left, and we got a lot of strong drivers up towards the front that we've seen all season. But how about this for the driver that's on pole here today? Matthew Burnett sits 16th in points. He's right in the middle of that chase battle, but he doesn't have a win. How important is it for him to maybe get the win here today?
Well, it's not only going to be very important for him, but also drivers like Zachary Fitzwater, who are lower down the field. 3 cars behind our pole sitter, Ronald Kennington Jr. there in the 19 rather. He's there, and it's all going to be the race down to turn number 1 and turn number 2, and that very long straightaway to turn number 3. Those are probably going to be the most crucial points of the race, because that's when you're going to get the first jump before the cars get very separated. And beyond that, it's really going to be dependent on the pit strategy that determines the outcome of this race. So the jump off the start and the pit crews have got to be spot on today here, Nathan.
Absolutely. We saw that yesterday with Bradley Weem and the 28 for OSS. He had a slow 2 tire, not Bradley. Bradley got 2nd, but Felicity Mendoza, my bad. Mendoza got a 2 tire pit stop. It was slow and costed her the race win, and that could happen again. I will give a shout out to Nick Lopez. He won yesterday in dominating fashion. He's another one just like Matthew Burnett, 17th in the point standings, needs to go in a good one, maybe even a win here today, and we have to wait and see what ends up happening. But it is a very long road course, 4 miles in length, 16 laps. This is going to be a long one. And with that being said, with this being a long road course and a really long pace lap, we're going to go ahead and get these draws rolling, and we will talk about the race to the chase standings with 4 races to go. Like Bronson said, we have a fairly tight local season championship battle on our hands. Stuart Glenn, Anna Miller, Local Dawn, and Local Williams all have a fairly good chance of leaving here today as the point leader. Stuart Glenn has 385, Anna Miller 383. Local Dawn 382, and Local Williams 380, and they are all plus 62, plus 60, plus 59, and plus 57. And as of now, they are all looking very comfortably into the season 6 chase. However, everyone else is not so lucky. Ronald Kennington got a 2nd place win last week. He is in the top 10 in points, but he's only plus 18. And then this is where it is very tight. John Andrews only plus 4. Jordan Stout, the Daytona 500 winner, only plus 4 above the cutoff line. Matthew Hubert, two-time winner, only in by 3 points. And then Juan Garcia, the Willow Springs winner, last time he won a road course, is only in by 2 points. Same with Yo, a lot like Logan Williams, is starting to get the momentum on the right side towards the end of the regular season. Is only 2 points out, and able with that win at Michigan is 6 points out, but has wild card number 1. Trey Butler, we've not really mentioned a lot about him, but he's been quiet, top 15 in points all the season. He still has a shot at points way in, only 20 points below the cut line. Duncan Wood, minus 27. Alexander Vittori, also minus 27. And has wild card number 2. And then, this is where a lot of these guys need some good ones here today, right? Matthew Burnett and Nick Lopez especially. Minus 48 and minus 50. Alexander Lowe has a win and is in the wild card fight, but it's in 18th, minus 56. Joe Witkowski and Travis Crampton, some of the surprise disappointments this season. Joe Witkowski minus 65 and Travis Crampton minus 74. And then a lot of these guys back here, like Eli Bright, Justin like Dale, Jim Matthews, Noah Clifton, and Bradley Williams, they really need a win and try to get into the top 20 in points. In the top 10, Matthew Burnett and Zachary Fitzgerald. How about this for the 71 team? And then Matthew Hubert and Nicholas San Mateo. Warren Kennington and Duncan Wood, Jordan Edwards and Nick Lopez, and Joe Witkowski and Dylan Matthews round out the top 10. A lot of good drives up towards the front. And Boston, this is a crazy road course. Maybe not as crazy as Willow Springs. Gonna have some strategy into it. 2 pit stops. And it is a long road course at 4 miles. Who do you think will win here today?
I believe if he gets a good jump going into turn number 1, the race will be his. Of course, I'm talking about the pole sitter, Matthew Burnett. It's, of course, going to be the battle between the Matthews here at the start. It's going to be the battle between Matthew Burnett and Matthew Hubert. I almost forgot who the 5 car was. But whoever can get the best jump, especially between Burnett and Zachary Fitzwater, they will win into turn number 1. And if Burnett is able to win going into turn number 1, stay consistent. Of course, when it comes time for pit stops, that's kind of out of your control. But if you have a fast enough car, there's no reason why you can't win it. And of course, that pick is going to go to Matthew Burnett. He is my win here at Road America. A very, very intense race upcoming. A very important race upcoming, Nathan. And we're all going to decide it here in about 16 laps time.
Absolutely. Only got 4 races to go in the regular season. And after today, we go to the unknown of Nash for the first time since season 1. And then a short track of New Hampshire, and then the tricky triangle of Pocono for the regular season finale on 4th of July weekend. It is 4 races to go in the regular season already, and we are halfway through season number 6. Matthew Burnett and Zachary Fitzgerald will lead us to the green. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some Culvers, because race 15 on the season, and the Culver's 250 is green in Wisconsin at Road America. Gotta watch out for turn number 3. This could be a little bit of a tight turn, and looks like they are going to be good for now. They get a little bit sideways with a couple cars in the back. That was the 11 and maybe the 3 car. And how about this? Zachary Fitzwater in the number 71 is going to take the race lead for now. But Burnett all over the back bumper in turn 5. This is going to be a fairly early trouble spot. Burnett gives a slight bumper tap to Zachary Fitzwater. And will we all make it in turn number 5 without any problems? It looks like we do. We are good so far, and Zachary Fitzgerald out front. Burnett, though, looks strong in that number 20 machine.
Burnett could have laid the chrome horn just a little bit harder, but of course you don't want to make enemies here at Road America because your enemies will eventually find you. The 5's going to go wide. Everybody's going to go wide. That's going to give the advantage to the 19. The 8's a little wide. The 19's going to go wide now. There's Kennington almost into the grass. Hubert almost out of the groove. Here comes the 77 of Nicholas Samadillo. He also needs a very good run here at Road America. They all keep it going. Duncan Ward still side by side. Made an amazing 3-wide move going into turn number 1 as we go into one of the fastest sections of the racetrack. That's the 22 off pace going to the outside. The 17, I believe that is, unless that's the 6 disguised as the 17. And there goes Samadillo to the inside, taking advantage of that hard braking zone on of Hubert. 27 is going to get around the 5 there. With 2 corners to go, and now back up the hill, going towards the start-finish line. Samadillo is going to go a bit wide, give the advantage to Hubert. And it's to the race to the start-finish line. Lap number 1 is going to be led by the 71 of Zachary Fitzwater. A very sizable gap between himself and Burnett. And between that is another sizable gap between Samadillo and Burnett. But behind him is a Hornet's Nest going into turn number 1.
Especially back here, Wilkowski, Juan Garcia, and Charlotte Williams with the Culver's caller and the Wisconsin native having a good one so far just outside the top 10. And I will say we have no cautions here today, so if anything happens, any shenanigans, you will see it in the corner of the screen all day long. And we almost saw some lap 1 chaos there, as this is an easy racetrack to go off wide a little bit. It is fairly narrow, kind of like Little Springs, and we saw that early on lap number 1. Fitzwater in the lead, and he's not even inside the top 25 in points, so I don't know how much this would really matter, but this would be special for Fitzwater to get a cup win here today. He won his first win on the channel finally last year in the Truck Series at Richmond, and maybe he can get his first cup win here today. But Bennett is closing in fast in at number 20. He knows that was that safe for him. It's not just getting a win, it is possibly getting into the chase and get into the wild card battle in these final 3 races. Same with Dio, Matthew Hubert with a good one. Both of those drivers need it. And same with Warren Kennington, Jordan Edwards, Duncan Ward made a 3-wide move early on. Dylan Matthews with a good one. Then up and down for the 17. And then Nick Lopez trying to do the weekend sweep is in 9th. And then Joe Wilkowski lands out the top 10. Last year, it was his year until the chase. This year, it has not. And it's just been much more competitive for this year. And that's what has hurt the 43 all season long. And coming back to the line, complete lap number 2 is still Fitzwater and Burnett 1-2.
Here's the 19 trying to take a look to the inside of Hubert there. Nothing's going to be made there. Kennington's going to fall back in line, but Duncan Ward, man, I'll tell you, Duncan Ward is on the move here to the inside of Jordan Edwards of the 9. Ward's going to slide back into place going into turn number 1. Maybe reevaluate the way he's going to attack the number 9 there. Try and get a better corner exit, trying to take it to turn number 2 here. Maybe place a little bit of chrome horn. Oh, and Ward's going to go wide. Maybe outbrake to himself. That's going to give the advantage to Dylan Matthews to the inside of turn number 2. Side by side, heading down the very long straightaway into the hard braking zone of turn number 3. Here's Nick Lopez trying to take a look at 3 wide. If there's a hole that's open, he might take it. Send it all the way to the inside. No. Side by side going into the corner. Someone going to go drifting low wide. No. Still side by side going into turn number 4. Rakowski behind Lopez. Rakowski's going to try and make up as many positions as he can. He is in a very tight points battle as it is, and Matthews is going to clear Ward heading into the corner. Now Matthews is going to set their sights onto the number 9 of Jordan Edwards. It seems like everybody's kind of strung out, little single file, apart from that little gaggle that we saw there for a few handful of corners. But now this is where things get a little interesting, viewers, heading into one of the fastest sections of the corners, of the racetrack rather. Ward's going to have the corner exit to benefit him. He's going to send it to the inside. He backs out late moment, almost drifts up into the grass. He's into the grass briefly. He's going to have to concede all of his momentum to the 54 of Nick Lopez. And that's going to destroy all of his run that he had back up front here. There's the 5 trying to set up the move on the 77 of Nicholas Samadillo. Trying to see if he can get something done before the straightaway. Hubert almost intimidating him, pushing him up wide. They're going to go side by side up the hill. And here's the, if we can get a camera angle on the lead, Burnett has closed significantly on Fitzwater. Look at this, Nathan. Is Burnett in the 20 going to try to make a move? Yes, he is. Side by side for the lead on lap number 4, going into turn number 1, excuse me. And Fitzwater is going to defend his spot in P1, but for how much longer? Is that car much better on the short run? And does Burnett have a much longer run car as the 5 goes very wide there, Nathan?
And one thing I forgot to mention, they can outbrake themselves, and that's what we've seen in turn number 3 especially. That's one of those turns that you can really outbrake yourself, but turn 5 is a really good turn to gain a lot of ground, and that's what Burnett just did right there. I think Burnett has a fast car here today, and he might be able to get past Fitzwater at some point. It's kind of hard to make a pass at some of these turns, just the way that this track is on the game. But Burnett has a fast enough car, he should be able to get past Fitzy eventually. But we're all the way on lap 4, and pit stops will happen around lap 6 for everyone, 6 or lap 7. But there could be a few that end up pitting on lap 5, so that could be interesting. Oh no, San Mateo messes up the carousel. He's going to keep it out of the tire barriers, but he's going to lose 4 or 5 spots because of it.
Wow, that was almost huge. He could have gone straight into the tire barriers, Nathan. Of course, at one of the fastest parts of the racetrack, Nathan, back up front, Burnett still pursuing the back bumper of Fitzwater. Besides that, this is the only battle of significance in the field. Behind them, a little bit of a battle between Hubert there and Kennington formulating, but we're probably going to focus on the top 2 here. And it seems like the 71's going to get the better corner exit going uphill. The 5's going to take it to the inside, side by side, going into the uphill section of the racetrack. Through the start-finish line, and they're going to keep it side by side to turn number 1. No pit stops that we can see as of now. The top 2 stay single file, as well as the rest of the pack, besides the battle for P3. There's the battle right there, I believe, with the 1 of BB Ruiz. Burnett's going to outbrake himself. He's going to go a bit wide there, as well as the 5 once again. That's 2 corners in a row he's done that, Nathan.
These tires, and I don't know if the tires are the boys, but they are outbreaking themselves a lot in turn number 3. No one went down last time by on that 4 coming to that 5. You're going to have to watch out for this time by especially. And 2 teammates are going to move each other out of the way. Hooper has a good car here today, but he keeps on making mistakes in that number 5, and he needs to clean that up if he wants to have a shot with the pit stops, and that's going to be a big factor. We might see some cars pit this time by, but most likely on that number 6 next time by. So we gotta wait and see what ends up happening. But Burnett is pulling away with Zachary Fitzwater, but I think Burnett has a better car in that number 70 machine. Good one from Eric Marco in the number 16. He, of course, was having a top 5, top 3, maybe even a race winning car at Michigan until he blew up late. And we got some good stories just inside the top 10, top 15. Justin Zeidel, Trey Barrow, John Andrews, he needs a good day. He's around the cutoff line, and Abel, he's having another solid one inside the top 20. And Andrew Miller not doing so good in the number 21. And neither is Stuart Grand, not too good for the 47. And just looking through the field, make sure that everyone is all good. Local Dorn is in the back. And same with Local Millions. And oh, I like this call. Burnett on lap 5, comes to lap 6, he's going to go down pit road and do the undercut. And so far, he's the only one to do so here at World America.
Yeah, you say that you like it, but I'm not liking that he's the only person doing it. I would feel a lot more confident if maybe 5 cars came down to pit road, but since he is the only taker so far, and he will be the only taker here on lap number 5, attempting the very aggressive undercut, Nathan. 77 going wide, 43 going wide just a little bit there. But yeah, Burnett, very aggressive. I don't know how much time he's going to potentially gain on this strategy, but I guess we'll see, as now is probably the time that we'll see a bunch of cars come down to pit road and make their first of 2 stops here in this race. The battle formulating here. This is going to be the battle for P2 if it heats up. Kennington leading this pack, as well as Edwards and Hubert. Side by side between Monaco, the briefly mentioned Monaco. Good run here today within the top 10. Oh, almost tries to take it to the inside of Nick Lopez. Lopez is another driver that needs a really good run here today. Ahead, Duncan Ward in the 8th. Trying to make moves through the field. Very aggressive early on. For right now, tamed off just a little bit, but I'm sure get some fresh tires on that number 8 Chevrolet, and we'll definitely see Duncan Ward get back into the rhythm of it. Going on to the fast section of the racetrack, it is all, I guess for now, it's all been Zachary Fitzwater this whole race. I don't know if he didn't lead lap number 1, but he is, I guess, apart from that, he has led every single lap. And now is the time that we're going to see the pit stops here, Nathan.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting what ends up happening with Burnett, but on lap 6, and we should see majority of the field go down pit road. Fitzwater is in. Kennington, Edwards, Hooper and Matthews stays out. Sam Deal is in. Lopez is in. And a lot more drivers than I thought are going to stay out for an extra lap. But the majority of the field, actually, it might be 50-50 from these drivers putting and staying out an extra lap. That's very interesting. That was not on my bingo card here today. I thought everyone was going to pit at the same time. See here, is it going to be 2 tires? There's not a lot of tire here. And it looks like it's going to be 2 white side tires for these guys.
Maybe wait into the pit box just to fill up on fuel to the next pit run. That being on lap number 12. Here comes the 20. And I believe this is going to be the battle for the lead. Is the 20 going to gain? No, he loses. He is going to lose time with that aggressive undercut and go multiple seconds behind, almost into the clutches of the 9 and 19 battling here. And that did not pay off, Nathan.
I like the aggressive call, but he didn't really gain. Oh my goodness, and this is 51. White Wilson all the way to the inside lane. And I believe that was a engine failure. I believe I saw a little bit of smoke, and that's a tough break for the number 51, and that is a good reason why we don't have cautions, because that would definitely be a caution and that would change everything. But gonna go to the front of the field that has not went down pit road yet, and the first one is Matthew Hubert, who I think has a really strong car, a lot like Burnett, and he might be trying to get some track position on his own right, trying to do the overcut. It's gonna be interesting because he won't be able to make it, but he might be able to stay out longer and then take less fuel than some of the other drivers. And I think everyone else is going to go down pit road. Burnett, Matthews, Hubert Matthews, and everyone else. Seidel's going to stay on another lap.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that, Nathan. I'm not going to lie.
I don't know if he can make it 4 more miles. And I don't know what Seidel's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to make it a 1 stop somehow, but everybody else is going to pit on lap 7, coming to lap 8.
We're talking about the no tire wear, but obviously if you stay out to the second realistic stop, there's obviously going to be an insane amount of tire wear on that number 2. Here come the race leaders. Obviously the 2 is probably not going to be a factor. And there we see the real gap in real time. The field is going to be very shuffled up now, Nathan. There's Eli Bright now bailing pit road. There's Aaron Abel in the 11. John Andrews, Stuart Gratton, 15. Alexander Rowe behind. And here comes the 12 of Sam Vitale. Yeah, the field is all mixed up, all bunched up now. But dare I say the 20 is definitely catching the 71 here, Nathan.
Oh yeah, this number 20 machine definitely has, I think, the one of the fastest cars, and he does have the second fastest lap. Troy Barlow in the 24 actually has the fastest lap so far, but Burnett has the second fastest, and Hubert has the 4th fastest. So I'm not surprised about that. They've been really fast. Fitzwater does have the 8th fastest lap time still, so still got a top 10 car, I think, but I don't know if he has a race winning car. There's number 2 of Justin Zeidel in Canada corner in turn number 12. And we saw it before the first round of pit stops, and Burnett looks like he has a faster car than Fitzwater, but he was not able to get around him, and that could be a factor that determines this race win. And these two will be the top two once everything cycles out with the number 2 of Seidel on pit road now. Kennington's going to be in third, and the battle for fourth between teammates. And what a dive bomb entering the corner. Forum Jordan Edwards takes that fourth spot away. And Hubert in fifth, Dylan Matthews in sixth, Duncan Wood in seventh, Nick Lopez in eighth. And then these two, Monaco and San Diego, battling for ninth and 10th.
Yeah, a lot of good battles now formulating here, and that's the 19 hitting pit road once again.
And he just had a coolant leak.
Oh, and that's probably going to take him out of the race. Most likely, right, Nathan?
That they might be able to fix that. They might not be able to. I'm not entirely sure, but that's not what Cunnington needed. He was winning top 5, top 10, and only was 18 points above the cutoff line.
Yeah, and with that, with how small the points margin is within that top 10, that's huge. That's huge. If he is out of the race, I mean, guaranteed he's going to lose a lot of points leaving here, Road America. Man, that is such a heartbreak for that 19 team. Started so well, started up front in the field, was running very well all race, was going to collect a big chunk of points. Not to be, Nathan.
Welcome to the late season struggles, and that's a heartbreaker for that 19 team. Just got second, almost won last week at Michigan. Running really well here today, top 10, and that's going to hurt them. Three Barlow just went wide off of that corner right there, and Barlow's having a quiet season once again, or a quiet race once again. I think Seidel is going to gain a little bit from where he once was with this strategy, and we might have to watch out if he can somehow make it all the way. Gonna quickly go to the number 19, and he is back out onto the racetrack, so he's not out. They were able to fix the leak, but I don't think he will be able to make it all the way, so that's a tough way for Ronald Cunnington in the number 19.
You know what, Nathan? I'm thinking about this number 2 pitting, and he might be a lap short, but if he stays enough, I think he might make it. If he just stays out and stays like crazy, I think Justin Seidel could make it. Just by saving an incredible amount, he's going to have to lose such a great amount of pace. He's already backing up this train of cars behind him. But I think Seidel could make it.
That honestly would be very interesting if Seidel can make it. He's in 22nd in the point ceilings, so it would help him get inside the top 20 for sure, but I don't know, they probably can't make it, but I've seen crazier things before. And the 51 is out with a valve. John Anderson getting racing with Stuart Grant and Andy Miller, and these two are battling for the regular season title, and we'll see what ends up happening. But right now it is all Zachary Fitzwater here today. Logan Williams side by side with the 48 of Juan Garcia, who won at Willow Springs earlier in the year. And all three of these drivers are inside 11th through 13th. And right outside Dallas in 14th. So that's still a very good one. And he would have to save a lot. It's questionable if he can. This being a 4-mile long road course, but we just have to wait and see if he can. But back out front, Matthew Burnett has the car to beat today, I think. He has pulled away to a 6-second lead with Zachary Fitzwater. So these two are absolutely pulling away. Great one from Jordan Edwards, though. He's kind of been falling off, but still consistent. And he's going to have a good one here today as well.
Yeah, judging who you're rooting for, it's either going to be a win for the underdog, his second win only on the channel, or if you are rooting for the 20 here, it could be a win to get back into playoff content or chase contention rather, because you know with the points bump as well as being just within the wild card, it's possible Burnett could make it within the wild card, but he has to get in front of Fitzwater either now or during the pit cycle to make it happen. Fitzwater, he's just here to have fun. He's just here to see if he can win. He's just here to be a fan favorite, honestly. And how could you not root for him? He's just such a likable character within the garage. Everybody just seems to like him, and how could you blame them?
I mean, there's a reason why he won the fan vote this year for the All-Star race.
Yeah.
And there's a really good reason for that, and I bet this would be a really popular win for Zachary Fitzwater, and this is a really good team. Kilbo's inspired Motorsports, they know what they are doing. It's been a little bit of a struggle for Matthews and Fitzwater, but San Diego's gone on a roll in the second half of the regular season. Speaking of San Diego, he's going to make it 3 wide into turn number 5.
How about that, Nathan? How is this going to pan out? It's very tight getting into the corner. The 5's in the sandwich of Spire. And the 7 of Matthews is going to make it work out. The 77 Samadillo drifts a bit wide. Still side by side between his 2 Spire cars. And it's going to be the 5 pushing the 7. The 7 trying to arch it into the corner. And Hubert misses. A lot of Matthews in this field, Nathan. Samadillo is going to run just a bit wide, giving the edge to Lopez. And all of that, and the 7 on the outside going into the corner is going to take advantage of all of that, and Matthews clears all of the chaos. Samadillo is going to get a good arc into the corner right ahead of Lopez, and Hubert's going to try and find the edge, and here comes Burnett, the other Matthew, as I said, all over the back bumper of the fan favorite. Like you said, Nathan won the fan vote for a reason, and now Fitzwater's under fire, under immense pressure.
Are they
going to make the pit stops right now together, Nathan? How is this going to pan out? The 2 leaders with a 1.5-second gap on P number 3, Jordan Edwards. How is this going to play out on lap number 11?
They should be able to make it. It's like 6 or 7 laps on field. I think everyone's just going to go down pit road now. Oh, except for 2. Zeidel's staying out.
Oh my goodness.
And now they're going to do left side tires.
Took the right sides the first time. Now they take the left sides. Fuel her up just enough to make it to the end, and you'll be good to go. The 71's going to get out
still
first.
Stop for Burnett.
And Burnett's going to be on pit road just a bit longer, and that's going to give the extra gap. Look at the gap, and Burnett's still going to put on pit road speed. Look at that, and Edwards is going to be all over the back of Burnett going into turn number 1, Nathan. An unbelievably crucial stop for the 20, and they flounder it.
That could have been a spot into the Chase Fever wild card. It's still going to be a good one for them, but they could have won this race here today. But it's not going to be the case most likely. Unless something happens to Zachary Fitzwater. He's still oh my goodness! Oh, Miles just got turned. That's the pit road.
And Miles hard into the wall. Race-ending damage. He's going to continue on his merry way after contact with John Andrews leaving pit road. It's a very tight pit road, Nathan. I'll give the drivers that. It's a very difficult and very narrow pit road to get out of. But obviously avoidable contact. Can't tell if the 1 stayed out alongside with Zeidel.
I believe so.
Surely,
I believe.
Phoebe Ruiz, yeah.
Yeah, I think Zeidel. Diacomo, who had a good one in the National Series race final yesterday. I believe the 1, the 99, all stayed out an extra lap, but that's it. Everyone else has already made the pit stop here. I'm pretty sure, so. We'll see what number 2 can do. He stayed out the longest the first time. Is he going to just go ahead and pit, or is he going to try and stretch it all the way?
Yeah, if he doesn't make it down the last 2 laps, he's got to be committed. He's staying out this lap. We'll definitely keep an eye on him next time around, but if he stays out the next time around, I guarantee you he's probably going to make it. 10's going to stay out, so Diacomo has a little bit more in the tank left. Zachary Fitzwater, he's already made his pit stop. He's going to stay out, as well as the track house cars. They're going to stay out. And that's it. Those are all the cars that stayed out an extra lap. And it's an insane gap between the 20 and the 71, Nathan. Look at that as we have them cross the start-finish line. How big is it going to be this time?
It's
That's almost a
5 or
6
second gap between Fitzwater.
Wow.
and Burnett. That was a costly pit stop from Matthew Burnett right there.
And you just have to ignore, oh, I could have had a good run, like we're having a good run right now. You could have had a win, and you're almost in. Have a few more good runs before the chase begins, and you're almost locked in. This was almost it. You almost had the win. Screw a good run. You almost had a win. That's the way I look at it, at least, Nathan. From a team owner's perspective, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I mean, we've seen Burnett have a fast car all day long, but he seems to be losing that speed here as he's being caught by Jonas and Dale Matthews. And I would just say, this is not a fluke win for Zachary Fitzgerald. I know he struggled this season, but all three spotter cars have nailed the setup here today because all three of them are inside the top 10. So, fantastic job from all three of them here today, regardless of what ends up happening. And Fitzgerald, assuming that the other four cars that stay out cannot make it, he might win, but a fantastic job from Spotter here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Caleb Rose brought their A game as well as the whole organization and drivers. We know how difficult it is to do ratings and try and see what works week in, week out. Caleb Rose, especially here on the road course, he found it. Their drivers found it. Great job from Spire. Zidell is staying out. Nathan, I don't know if Diacomo is going to... Diacomo is staying out. And if everybody else stays out, Trackhouse cars staying out, the one is at least, and so is Noah Clifton. Very interesting how this is going to play out, Nathan. There's not a... It's a sizable enough gap between Zidell and, I guess, the next relevant car of Fitzwater, where it's not going to really matter because Zidell just has an insane amount of gap. Yeah, only went down by a second. So with 3 laps to go, if Zidell just hits his marks every lap, he might come home a winner, but I don't want to jinx him like I did Burnett. That was a costly, costly jinx.
I don't know what this 2 team is doing. Surely he cannot make it 8-9 laps on fuel. That would be very, very pushing it. And as far as I know, I don't think the 10 and the 1 and the 9 have went down pit road yet. As I don't know what just happened, but Burnett just lost second to Jordan Edwards. What a run from Jordan Edwards here today.
Yeah, great run by that 9. He's consistently showing that he was the class of field, trying to get back to his advantage that he had, trying to get back to his good, consistent run, trying to get back on that run, Nathan, especially ahead of the chase. That could be crucial. But I can't imagine that Burnett, on the other hand, he is very happy. He's probably fuming under that helmet, and how could you blame him? That is... like I said, that could have been a win. That could have been a win, and instead he's going to have to settle with a 7th, at least the way that's looking right now. And if Dylan Matthews catches, potentially an 8th place finish, it could have been a win.
It definitely could have been. It could have been 2 wins in a row for Joe Gibbs Racing, but that's not going to be the case here today. We're going to look at Justin Zidell. He's still going to stay out.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Next time by is going to be the very crucial part if he is able to make it. Giacomo's going to pit.
Oh.
And so is BP Ruiz. And so is Noah Clifton.
Oh my gosh. I'm not getting excited as a Penske team owner, but I just find that very interesting is all.
It's going to come down with 2 laps to go. Fuel mileage. Can Justin Zidell steal this on fuel? He has a 14-second gap almost over Zachary Fitzgerald. He can't save if he needs to. Or is it going to be Zachary Fitzgerald? Regardless, we're going to have a upset surprise winner here today at Road America.
Yeah, whether it's Zidell, whether it's Fitzwater, whether it's Diacomo, it is going to be a surprise winner between the top 3. Obviously, Fitzwater.
Well, Diacomo, he went down pit road.
Diacomo went down. Yeah, my apologies. The leaderboard hasn't updated. So, yeah, it's going to be down to the top 2. Either way, a surprise, absolute underdog winner. And we love to see that. We love to see it as few and rare times as it happens, Nathan. It is always good to see, a driver that more or less doesn't really run the way that their equipment should. It's always good to see a driver hit victory lane for the first time of the season. I mean, if you're Fitzwater, it's great to hit victory lane anyway.
Yeah, it would be great for whoever ends up winning, but especially for Fitzwater. This would only be a second win on the channel. I think Seidel has some more than that, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Here we go. The moment of truth. Is the two going to try and stretch it on a one-stop strategy, or is he going to go down to the pit road this time by? Off turn number 4, and oh my goodness.
Wow.
He's going to try and stretch it.
Have we ever seen somebody come down pit road on the last lap? That is what I'm wondering, Nathan. We are hitting the white flag this time by the field. Everybody else can make it. The only car that is in question is the leader. He is heading into turn number 1. Only 2 cup wins to his career, to his name. And is he about to etch number 3 here at Road America? He has to just nail one more lap. He has a 13-second gap between himself and Zachary Fitzwater, who is just leaving turn number 1. Unbelievable what may occur here today, Nathan.
Well, it is the pilot one to go. I'm just going to say that now, and I don't know what's going to happen here, because Seidel and Fitzwater, they're on like the same straightaway. They were both on this straightaway in between turn 3 and 5. Seidel has 13 seconds to save, so he has a lot of ground, but wouldn't this be something? I didn't think anyone would try this. No one did, except for one driver, Justin Seidel. And you know what? This could make his season, because he's 22nd in points, trying to have a sliver of a chance in the last 3 races at a wild card spot. Can he make it on fuel?
And if you think about it, really all of his competitors are behind him. Everybody that he was battling with, they stayed out with him. They came into pit road. They are way down the finishing order. And this is going to be an enormous point lead if he can just coast it up the hill, Nathan. Coast it from here. He is going to become a winner for the 3rd time in his Cup Series career, JBL Cup Series career, here at Road America. He has 2 more corners to do it. It's going to be heartbreak for Zachary Fitzwater if he doesn't come down pit road, and 1 final corner to go.
Off of turn 14, he's staying out in a one-stop strategy. He saves enough fuel. Somehow, someway, I did not have this on my bingo card, but on the one-stop strategy, Justin Seidel will win the Culver's 250.
And he is a winner for Team Penske. Unbelievable. Zachary Fitzwater, unbelievable heartbreak. He's going to come home P number 2. Jordan Edwards, a valiant effort, a strong fight. Going to be a P number 3. Behind him is going to be Dylan Matthews in the Spire 7. Behind them, what could have been the 20 Matthew Burnett finishes P number 5. And a very solid showing from the 5, who finishes P number 5.
Oh my goodness, I'm stunned. Didn't have a lot of like crashes or a lot of exciting moments per se, but we saw some battles on this on the racetrack here today, and we saw something I did not have thought of here today with a one-stop strategy of Justin Seidel, and he must be still on power because he's still going. So
he might have enough for the burnout.
I'm stunned. We might need to call Justin Seidel a fuel safe master, a one-stop strategy, and he is a winner. And you know what? Like you said, Nate Lopez finished behind him, still got top 10. Burnett finished behind him, still got top 5. Sam Vitale finished way deep in the field here today, all the way back in 22nd. Clampton with a rough one again in 31st as Eli Blight flew up at some of the pit season. Wachowski.
That's the corner of the screen.
Wachowski with a solid one, top 11. So like you said, a lot of drivers that are just in front of him, they had a bad one, and this might open up the doors for another contender in the wild card fight. That could get very interesting. We have the legacy tile, we got the chase cutoff, and we might end up having 4 or 5 drivers going for 2 wildcard spots when we get to Pocono.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I find most impressive, not only just the points battle, but how Zidell saved on a one-stopper, not only on the longest racetrack that we go to here in the JBL Cup Series, but a road course. That is just absolute mastery that we saw here at Road America. A very well-deserved win here for the two Penske Ford Mustang, and hopefully this is the shot in the arm that they need. And like you said, wild card bound, hopefully. That is the goal for Zidell, at least.
The only way he's going to be able to point his way in because he was 91 points out of the qualifying point today, but getting a wildcard spot, that could be a possibility. So it's definitely going to be a lot of fun at Nashville. For the first time since season 1, I said today was a wild card. Next week at Nashville is a wild card because we've not been there since season 1, and we're bringing the same tire that we used at Atlanta with 2.5 seconds of fall off. So that's a wild card in its own right in the New Hampshire and Pocono. 3 races to go in the regular season. Tough play for Zachary Fitzgerald. I know he got second, but it looked like he was going to win, and it looked like Burnett could have won as well. But it's Justin Zidell one-stopped it, and he was able to get the win here at Road America. I can't believe it. Fitzgerald in second. Jordan Others kind of went down the order a little bit in points, but that's going to shrink back up a little bit and maybe have a 5-way fight for the regular season championship. Who knows? Good one for him. Dylan Matthews, top 5. Burnett, top 5. Hubert in 6th. Had a really strong car. Duncan Warren in 7th. Same deal in 8th. All 3 spotted cars inside the top 10. Nick Lopez won yesterday in the National Series race. Didn't get the win, but a double top 10. And I know I keep on saying this, but on top of the wild card scenario, you got Burnett and Nick Lopez who needed it, who needed good ones here today, got him. So that's going to be interesting. Want to go see a 10th in points, got top 10. Wachowski finally a good one, 11th for him. Monaco in 12th, Logan Williams in 13th. I think he might leave here as a point leader here today. Maybe, because Stuart Grant is not too far behind. It's going to be close for the regular season title. But what a race here today at Road America. Ron Cunnington with his coolant leak issue. He still got 24th, so not too bad. And, of course, something happened to the 51 and the 42, both in blue engines. And then obviously Old Miles and John Am to say at their issue at seeing the pit road. And some of these drivers back here just having bad days and bad seasons, like Brad Ream. Still cannot catch any luck. Duncan Halverson and Travis Crampton just keeps on falling off. And that's disappointing because that team has speed, but they just are not getting the good break. But what a race here at Road America. Had a little bit of everything. And another win for the Team Bronson. Team Penske with a win. And
Yep.
you might get 2 drivers in the wild card scenario. And 3 races to go. Nashville, New Hampshire, and Pocono in the regular season. How do you think that's all going to go down? And how do you think Nashville especially is going to go down next week? First time to season number 1 that we are racing there.
Like you said, it's a wild card. If we thought this was a wild card, then definitely next week with the insane unknowns going into next week at Nashville. Just, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what teams are going to be competitive, who's going to fall off. It's just going to be another great points battle. As far as Pocono goes, we have multiple great races, mind you, of past seasons that we can go off of, as Jordan Edwards just rejoined the racetrack for whatever the reason. But yeah, it's always great to be back in the backyard at my home track in Pocono, and I hope that it's not only a great race, but a great race for Team Penske, as we have a lot on, at stake now. But just a shout out at Zachary Fitzwater. I know he did not get the win. I know that hurts, but a P2, that's got to feel good. Especially the way that Spire as a whole ran all of their cars in the top 10. That is an accomplishment not only for all the drivers, but Caleb Rose. They like I said, he definitely found something.
Absolutely, and I'm not surprised. There's a reason why that Caleb won the Unlimited Championship last year. There's a reason why that his car, Josh Williamson in the 77 at that time, won the Drivers' Championship because he knows what he's doing as a owner in this series, and today proved it. And it's gonna be a exciting last 3 races for the JBL Cup Series, and I'm excited. We got a regular season championship on the line, a chase cut-off battle, and now because of Justin Seidel, we're gonna have at least 3, 4, maybe 5 people going after the 2 wildcard spots. So it's been a fantastic season, a lot of parity, but even with the parity, we are still seeing drivers that won up front, that should won up front, and we only have 3 races to go until the chase. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks for Boston for joining me up here in the booth for this one. And next week we are at Nashville for the first time since season number 1. That is gonna be a lot of fun. Being the same time from Atlanta, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And for me, I've been hyping up that one for a while because I know that could be a very fun race, and I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see on who ends up winning the, I think, Broken Bow records, one of the big machine records. Well, I don't remember. It's something natural related, but thanks for Boston for joining me. Congratulations to Boston and Justin Seidel on the race win on a one-stop strategy. And we only have 3 races to go until the Season 6 chase. Until next week for National and Cup at Nashville, we'll see you guys in the Music City. Bye!
Bye-bye.